We're talking about vanity here. We're talking about deep identity with this car that we're driving, aka human body. This software, especially nowadays, especially because we're in a technological age, especially when the conditioning, the societal conditioning is so obsessed with the human body, it's sickening. How you look. Well, how do I look? Everyone's motives, a lot of people anyway, for when they do positive things is to improve their vanity. It's not for spiritual reasons. Meditation, yoga, raw foods, semen retention, all this. If you examine yourself and introspect, these underlying hidden subconscious motives it's in there somewhere because you want to look good, you want to vibe, you want to shine, because then you get people and they'll reflect back to you like, whoa, he or she has something. And the girls have this worse than guys, because the girls are, man, it's like in their DNA, centuries and centuries, they're programmed like, I gotta look good, I'm a girl, I gotta look beautiful, gotta look beautiful to get the guy. I mean, I feel sorry for them because it's just too bad, the obsession with the mirror, and I gotta check myself, and I they're so susceptible to the industries that promote these products to make you look young, to make, I'm gonna give a good meditation in a little bit. Hope I don't, no, I can't forget. It's too important. So here's the thing. I used to do that. I think I did it worse than anybody in the world, actually. I never met anybody that did this worse than me. I mean, this was OCD obsession with the body, the physical form. The identity with this body was so strong, and it was fueled by the constant conditioning I was getting by living in LA, in Hollywood, being an actor. Because everybody's obsessed with it, but I took it to another level, because that's what I do. I take things to another level. Whether that be positive or negative, doesn't matter. I lived in a studio apartment. It was small. I was paying $350 a month for a studio apartment. I lived on Hollywood and Franklin and Argyle Avenue, for those who live in LA and you know the area. I lived 2025 North Argyle, I remember. This is in my early 20s. So it was but I don't think you can get, like nowadays, how much is an apartment there? Probably $1,200 or something. I'm glad I'm not there now. That's why I like third world, man. You go to a third world, you chill. So I lived in this little apartment, and I bought a mirror that covered the whole wall. The whole wall. And you know what I'd do? I would walk in front of that mirror nonstop. I'd check everything. How does my gait look? My posture? Like, how is it? How's my gains? Gotta have gains. How's my smile when I smile? How's my eyes? Are they like open? Are they charismatic? Can I like put it on the girl and then she's gonna just be hypnotized? Checking all that stuff constantly. Then I'd hire these image consultants, personal shoppers that would go with me, and they'd try to find the best clothes for me. I gotta get G'd up, Here's the funny thing. You find out what you're supposed to wear and what you're supposed to do in life when you get right inside. Everything's backwards. People just want to know, like, well, what's my purpose in life? And I don't know, what are the best colors and all that stuff. Man, that happens intuitively when you get grounded. But they think the opposite, like I did. I got to get this right first. I got to figure out like who I am, then I'll be happy. No, you give up who you are, and then you'll come into some understanding of how the universe wants to play as this individual form called you. It just shapes, it just says, okay, God says like, okay, I want to use you like this. Okay, yeah, wear this, and wear that color, and yeah, cut your hair like this, and yeah, there you go. Okay, now go do my work. But you got to get right first with God, and then this is automatic. So I bought that mirror. I would drive myself crazy. I'd wake up in the middle of the night and wonder how I looked, and I would just start pacing and just checking. But like I was tired, I couldn't even see straight. I would check so much I couldn't see straight anymore. It was hell. I would get into accidents because I'm checking in the rear view mirror too much. I hit a girl once. She was crossing the street, and I was, I had to make sure something. And then bam, I like saw her for a second, and I was going slow, fortunately. I slammed the brakes on. She popped up on the hood and fell off. She was all right. And, I'm just saying, like this stuff's dangerous, man. But even if it's not dangerous, it's dangerous to, it inhibits your spiritual evolution. How can we start to become aware of you can say, this subtle source self if the mind is always focused on the car that we're driving? I like the analogy I give. Whatever automobile you drive, it is no different than if you were to identify totally with the automobile. Some people almost do. And then if you get a scratch, you're like going into a depression. You're like, damn, I can't wax off this scratch. Oh no, what's gonna happen? My car's scratched. Or somebody, scratches it. You want to kill them. You feel like they scratched you. This has to be recognized. This deep identity with this car that we're driving. That's first step. You can't just stop. How are you going to stop though? This is what I'm saying. That's why I say this is the hardest, deepest software to transcend. I knew it was crazy for years, but I couldn't stop it. Well, how did it stop? I don't know. This is the point. That's why there can never be a spiritual handbook to like enlightenment. I'm making a video about this, I think, after I'm done with this one. There's nobody can tell you. Look at some of these teachers. Any teacher, okay, Eckhart Tolle, for example. I like him, by the way. He's cool. He wasn't even thinking about spirituality. Neither was Ramana Maharshi when he had his awakening. Neither was Mooji. Mooji was like pissed off at Papaji. He was leaving. Okay, what do these three people have in common? They had an awakening. That's what happened. They're not done. Can always awaken more, but they had a very profound shift in consciousness. Why? Because they're like studying really hard and then doing self-inquiry, meditating, and just keep meditating until I have the awakening. No, Eckhart wasn't even thinking about it. He was a brainiac. His intellect's super developed. He's thinking about college and school and how it sucks and all that. And like I said, Mooji was pissed off. He said, I'm leaving. I need to go have, I don't know, go to Jamaica. And Ramana, he's a kid. He was 16. He thought he was dying. And then what? Some awakening took place. So then, then Eckhart, I used to listen to him like in my early 20s. I had him on audio cassette. I would just listen all the time. I just liked hearing something other than the radio or what people are talking, and I liked his voice tripped me out, and I just liked listening to him. So and I read all his books. He was talking about presence. You got to be in the now. You got to be, you practice the presence. Well, the average mind, including my previous mind, all these teachings are for the mind, by the way. So the mind hears this and tries to apply it like they're going through university. I got to study really hard, I get good grades, and then I'm going to get my diploma. Well, if I listen to Eckhart and I apply the teachings, or if you're listening to your non-dual people, if I just understand non-duality and that everything's apparent, then I'm going to have the awakening. Or if you're doing self-inquiry, okay, there's a sensation coming up, it sucks, I don't like it, but wait a minute, who's that talking to? Is that which it's talking to, does that also not like it? Is there some space here that's like not affected by it? Okay, I got to check that. We think that if we do those things hard enough, there's going to be some awakening. These three people I gave the example of, they just had spontaneous awakening, but then they feel compelled to teach, so then they got to put something together. Well, you just practice presence, practice self-inquiry. Yeah, you do it if it comes natural. That's what you do. But that isn't going to cause an awakening. Awakening is up to grace and God. We don't know how that's going to happen. Why am I saying all this? Because it takes the pressure off, and when there's less pressure, there's more space for maybe some real awakening to happen. That's why I'm saying it. But paradoxically, at the same time, if you feel moved, if you like that practice of practicing presence, if that comes organically for you, or self-inquiry, then you do that. You continue on. It's not this ultimatum, seek or not seek. No, you do both. But you can't even do that. That also has to be revealed to you. So did I change the topic? Because we were talking about body identity and stuff. I'm just saying, that software is the deepest, man. That's the deepest. I didn't realize how deep it was till I got free of it. And then I look back, I'm like, whoa, man, how? I'm trying to do yoga and meditation, and I do go to my classes and listen to my, the teachers, but yet the identity was so strong with the physical body. And usually because of the opposite sex. I want to look good for the opposite sex. I want the attention, I want the dopamine hits. That, if I was just free of that, that would have been sufficient. There would have been a shift. I didn't even need meditation and yoga. That's how big a deal that is. This is why I don't make videos where I just keep talking about like spiritual techniques or practices. We have to have, I like to do both. That's fine. I sprinkle that in there. But we got to talk about the main things that are blocking a lot of people, nullifying the spiritual practice. We have to look at these things. The more you look at it, the more conscious you are of it, it can start to dissolve. That's the answer to the question I think I asked a little bit ago. Okay, you're aware that the identity is really strong. How do you get rid of it? I think I said you can't. Because you can't until it's time. But this is what helps that process, to constantly be aware of that, and then you somehow, this is individual, can't give instructions for this, you somehow allow some power to help do for you what you can't do for yourself. That's surrender. And you keep doing that, and you don't put a time limit on it. And this is what you do. And ironically, that's what you're going to do anyway. I'm just telling you what you're going to do. All right, I'll see you.